This is video number 13, and today we're going to talk about the hand, right? So I wrote an article a few months ago on Artist magazine. They already went down to bed. It was a good magazine, but so we're going to see how we can approach drawing the hand. So in this article, I specified that when you draw, you want to approach, or you can approach your subject in two ways. And the way you draw could be to visualize, which I'm gonna show you now. The way you think. It is not necessarily the way you're gonna draw it, right? So the way you think is this. So we're gonna start approaching the hand from a point of view of proportional relationships, as we have been doing so far for the rest of the body. So I look at the hand and I see that the size of the palm is the height of the palm is the length of the palm is a little bit bigger than the length of the fingers. Then if I look at the width of the palm, the width is similar to the height. So I could say this is about a square, or a little bit more elongated on this side. And so I'm going to draw now. I could draw a square. I could also draw a circle to block it in quickly, right? So block in a circle because it's easier. And then once I have, I keep it very faint. You're not going to see it now, but now I'm going to draw a square based on this circle, right? I'm going to draw a square, keep it loose, right? And then maybe make this side a little bit longer, right? Another thing I want to notice is that this line here is a curved line, see that? And that's the highest point, that's the middle point, and this is the lowest point of the curve. See, this is parabolic, it is curving here like this, right? Highest, medium, short. So this is the highest point, which corresponds to the base of the middle finger. And this is the middle point, and that's the lower point, right? So curve like that. Now I take the length of the palm is established. I can take the length of the palm and then block in the longest finger, which is the middle finger, right? And a little bit shorter than that here is the length of the middle finger, right? It's an estimation, right? But so at this point, I could block in just the axis of the middle finger. So let's look at the other, at the thumb. We want to block in the thumb. If I draw the midpoint, in the mid center line here, right? It goes through the hand here, and then through here, right? I see that I divided the palm in quadrants, right? Vaguely religious. Anyway, so this is now, this lower and lateral quadrant is occupied by the Thenar eminence, right? Thenar eminence. And this other quadrant in here, and this other actually these two quadrants in here, I have this more elongate eminence in here like this, which is called Hypotenar eminence. So now what I want to do is I can block loosely the quadrant in here just for, so you see why I'm saying this is the way you think, because you're not going to really draw this. You visualize your thinking now that you're learning, but later you don't need to draw that, right? So now we block in here the Thenar eminence here, the base of the thumb here and here, right? And on this side in here, the Hypotenar eminence. You see how quickly a form that is first like a square or a circular form start becoming organic as I add more and more forms, right? So let's look now at the length of the thumb, And if I bring the thumb close to the hand, I see how the first phalanx is at the level of the upper quarter, see that, of the palm. So this is the center, that's the top, the upper quarter of the palm, more or less, because then if I bring it out here, it's gonna be here, right? But it gives me a parameter, it gives me a way of measuring the proportional relationship. So now I bring the thumb close and I see how the tip of the thumb, the second phalanx, is going to be above, a little bit above the top of the palm. So a little bit above the top of the palm, so here and then out. And that is going to be the length of the second phalanx of the thumb, right? So now you see also how the palm tapers a little bit here, tapers a little bit, and you want to check your own hand when you do this, because my hand is fairly square in here, but your hand might be a little bit more elongated, different, right? So you look at the specific proportion of your hands. But the thing you want to do is relate the ratio, height to width, and then length of the palm and length of the finger, how they relate to each other. So I can also block in the forearm here, and I see how the forearm, actually let's block in the fingers first. I need the fingers first. So I can put the middle finger here, right? The axe of the middle finger is going to be just off the center. See that, off the center of the width of the palm. And now here, I'm going to put the axis of the index. So I could, at this point, I could also start opening the fingers in different directions, and later on I could also start flexing them. But for now, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it straight, because we need to appreciate the specific proportional relationship, right, of the hand. So now here I have the middle finger. The length of the middle finger we have seen is a little bit shorter than the length of the palm. This is from the palmar view, right? Because from the dorsal view, it's a whole different kettle of fish, right? Kettle of fingers. So now I want to see which one is the longest finger, and in my case, this is the longest finger. See that here? The index finger is a little bit short. In some cases, it's the opposite. So you want to look at your subject, right? But in this case, this is the second. So I'm going to block in the second finger here. I know where it goes because I space them evenly with the axis, right? And then I block in the index, right, just a little bit shorter than that, right here. There's not much difference, right? But there is some. So, and what I want to do here, keep in mind that there is space between fingers. See that? There is space and space in here. So don't draw the fingers like this, right? Because you have to leave some space in between fingers and finger, right? From this side, maybe it's different, but this side in here, there is space, especially when they are slightly splayed like that. So now I look at this at the pinky, and I see that the pinky a whole phalanx shorter than the ring finger. So I approximate the length of the phalanx, and I put the pinky here, right? So now I can, if I want to, start being more specific with the various length of the phalanxes, etc. But I want to leave this alone for now, because maybe we're going to do another video on that. Now I need to connect the hand with the forearm. So you look at the forearm in here, and I see how if I keep the line of the radius going, it will cut here a whole finger off. See that? A whole finger off. So now from here I go down like that, right? And then from this side here instead, if it goes up, the ulna, if you keep going, the ulna will cut off just a thin slice, right? Just a thin slice. So here's going to be a little bit wider here, and then just a thin slice off of that, right? And then you see how now the hand is slightly off center in relation to the forearm. Look at this also. If I have the hand like this and do a fist, see how this part protrudes much more than compared to that part, right? See that here. And also you see how this is at an angle. So if I want to have the fist straight, I have to twist it like this. If I open my hand, see how the hand is now at an angle, and now this is perpendicular to the axis of forearm, but it's only because I turn the hand like this to the left. Okay, so you can now at this point in here practice doing this, and you can do it quickly, right? You can do it blocking in, remember, blocking the size of your palm, blocking the length of the finger, block in. See what I'm saying? This is the way now you're going to work more loosely like that, right? So and it can be intuitive, right? As I block this in, I can imagine already, okay, this is going to be slightly bigger than that, and this finger is now going to be slightly turned, maybe this finger's the thumb extended, right? And then I can start be more specific once I have blocked in the main structure of the hand. So now I'm thinking, okay, now this palm in here is slightly curved right here, and then this finger is coming out like this. This finger maybe changes direction like that, right? So I can start moving all my fingers all sort of direction, right? And to the point where I end up with a more organic rendering of the hand, without so doing it like this permits you to maintain a certain fluidity, right? Because you're not going to be slowed down by the detail. So when you draw the hand, or you draw the body for that matter, you don't want to focus on the detail at first. At first you want to measure the forms, and then once you have measured the forms, then you can build up a structural aspect of your subject like this, and gradually build up details, organic details, movement, and then render it tonally to the point where from here you could end up with a very detailed drawing like this, right? So cleaning up all the underlying structural measuring, searching lines. Okay, so try this, and then try copying your hand first flat this way, then this way, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Then maybe next week we're gonna work on a slightly more 3/4 view of the hand.